Hello, hello. Happy Wednesday. Let's see. I think I need to, for my own sanity, flip my camera direction. And I need to remember how to do that. Horizontally flip source sounds about right. Now I think we should all be on the same page. There we go. Now my screen looks like what you guys see. So I had such a good time working on these little guys last week. Oh, I left the autofocus on, was wondering if it was going to be a pain. It might be a pain, huh? I think I'll take the autofocus off. So I had such a good time working on these little guys last week, and I did not even get my desk cleaned off. So I decided that I was just going to keep right on working on them. I just brought out a few more materials, and I'm just going to have a play because what I've been doing during the week has been continuing my huge reorganization of all my stuff in the studio and in the living room where I art, and I haven't made it out to the garage stations yet, but really trying to get a better handle on my supplies. And so I figured I would just go ahead, since I'm going to use these, and possibly put some of these up in my Etsy shop if there is interest. I would just keep working on some more. And I dug out a bunch of my dyed fabrics. I was looking for the little scraps because I finally found a better place to store those. So I am going to do that after this live. So let's see. I didn't really care for this as a major piece of eco dyeing, but it makes a nice background. And I hope everyone is having an awesome day today. We've had lots of fog here for the last couple of days, and it's been wonderful that it's been really nice and cool. And we can have the doors and windows open and not have to run the air conditioning. And I don't know why I'm cutting that when I know I'm going to want to tear it, but oh well. Let's see. I wonder if we can save some of those petals. Hello, lurkers. I can tell somebody's back there. This was one of the first things I threw in the pot material-wise with my eco dyeing, and didn't know very much then, so I didn't get huge imprints, but I got some. Let's see if we shred this up, if it looks better. Maybe what I'll do is just kind of lay some of these things out. I'm still trying to use up my gemstones, of which there are so many jars, and the ones like this, you know, are not bad to use. They're a nice size, but I also have so many of these teeny tiny chips, and you can't exactly sew these on, and I'm not exactly sure how I'm gonna find a use for them, but if anybody has any great ideas, let me know. So it's been really quite a process to be going through all my materials. Probably the last week I've been working on actual fabric and lace, and thinking I was going to get rid of a lot of it. And I am going to get rid of some, but not nearly the amount that I thought I was going to get rid of, because once I started, organizing it, I had a lot of the stuff that I think I'd already gotten rid of, a lot of the stuff that I didn't use, and the stuff I had left is stuff that I really wanted to work with. But I couldn't find, because I would just open the closet, the fabric closet, and just toss everything in there instead of putting it away right. And it's a really bad habit of mine. And it's bad enough when stuff is behind closed doors because I forget I have it. But then when I was just literally opening the door, it was a tumbling mass. You would reach in there, because the dog's leash is kept in that closet right now. And I would reach in there for the leash and everything would come tumbling out. So I'm really happy to be getting that under control. Hey, Lorna, how are you feeling? I hope you're doing better. A little bit more energy. I sure miss you when you're not here. I can't believe how long it's taken me to do my reorg, but I'm happy to say I'm making progress. So that's good. It's like I want to be able to find this stuff so I can use it. Oh man, that kind of stuff just wipes you out. Thank you. Yeah, I've got a lot of my little odd pieces here, and they make great. I don't know if you saw any of the video where I did these clusters last week and trying to use up my my teeny tiny gemstone chips. So I'm going to do more of those because I really didn't want to start anything new since I've still got to finish finding homes for all the fabric and lace and making it so I can see what I have, and oh, so many things that I want to work on. Okay, I really like that blue. Let's get, what else? Ooh, this is kind of neat. I really like them. It's just one of those things you start playing with and you think, wow, this came out better than it was in my head. Usually it's the other way around. Usually I've got this vision of what something's going to look like in my head, and the reality is like, yeah, scary, not quite what I had in mind. Okay, we have that. Let's do a bit of the blue. This was some of the blue left from when I did the using up all my leftover India inks. So this is just really watered down India ink. So how are you doing on your journals that you're working on, Lorna? Are you approaching the finish line? I've got journals planned out, but I told myself I can't actually start the books until there's order in the house again. I have got to have the world's most indulgent husband. This does not want to cooperate. Let's see here. Get a needle and something that's not going to get scratched up like my desk would. It's just so, so many of the things that I'm trying to find homes for, of course, are the things that have been unfinished for, dare I say it, years. And it's just terrible. It's just terrible to not finish projects. I mean, it's one thing if you lose interest, and it's like, okay, I tried this. This was something I thought I'd like doing, and I don't like it, so I'm not going to do it anymore. But in my case, it's like I got started on one thing, and then I got sidetracked by something else that was interesting, and then I got sidetracked by something else that was interesting, and it just makes it really hard if everywhere you look in your space is an unfinished project. It feels so good when you can finish something. Yeah, nothing new. It's literally, what is this, month 3 of this clean out? And I know I seem like the world's slowest person, but I hadn't realized how bad some of it had gotten. A lot of the stuff I had homes for if I had just finished getting stuff put back in their places. This ink is so thick it doesn't want to shred. Frustration. But I finally have all my doilies and handkerchiefs and cut work. I have a bunch of cut work tablecloths that are going to make some great journals. I finally have them all where I can actually see what I have. Now, the next step today is going to be getting all my dyed paper or dyed fabric where I can see it rather than just in a big old pile. Yeah, hello lurkers. I know some people like to work at the same time I'm working, and that's pretty cool. Let's see, how big do we want this one? This has got a really nice brown tone. It's gonna be kind of wide. Do I want it that wide? Well, we're just going to go with it. We're going to go with what the fabric's telling me, right? Yeah, the stuff that gets the color into the threads, it's great that the color seeps in, but it really does make it hard to fray the edges. Oh, Lorna, that's just mean. That's mean. I still have 2 feet of scanning to do. I still have about 20, half-done kits to finish. But it's a different part. I think we've talked about this before. It's a different part of my brain to do this kind of work and then to do the digital work. Let's see, what's another color I don't have? So it might be August before I am back to doing digital stuff, which makes me sad, but it is what it is. I know if I stop before this clean out project's done, it's just going to go right back to where it was. You know, I need to know that everything has a home and that the home that I have for it works for me. And I'm just slow and I'm taking my time because I am getting reacquainted with materials that I haven't played with in a long time. That's too small for a base. I want a green. I want a really pretty green. Let's see, what else do we have over here? That's a green. That'll kind of work. Make it a little narrower. Yeah, and then I've got a series of journals, small journals to work on, some nature ones too, so I can experiment with a few techniques that I want to play with. So I figure if I do small ones, it won't take, they all take me a while, but it won't take me as long. And that'll kind of hopefully get my mojo going again. So I want to do those before I do the digis, because then the digis are going to make me want to make different types of journals based on the digis. And I have a bunch of journal covers already covered, but of course, they're not the ones that are going to match with the kits that I want to do, or with the journals I want to make. All right, this is enough to play with. Now let's start layering things. And my goodness, I have got like this huge bin of lace scraps. I must have just kept grabbing big pieces of lace and cutting them apart rather than going through my scrap box. So I'm going to have to make a gazillion snippet rolls. Hopefully there's a market for snippet rolls. If there's a market for snippet rolls and journal covers, I'll be good, because then I can just make a bunch of those to use up some of this stash. All right. The greens. What else do we like here? How many journals are you working on right now, Lauren? I know you're doing your beautiful big lace ones. Lace clusters. Like just, yeah, maybe I should. With buttons or without, because I want to use up some of the buttons too. Is there a market for lace clusters? I guess if I could do them up quick enough, do them in sell them in batches of like 5 or 10. Oh, wow. Rain and thunderstorms in the summer. That's not fun. I still haven't gotten to my eco dyeing, and I've got to do that. I got to get the freezer cleaned out. Again, world's most indulgent husband. You know, a third of the freezer has got my leaves in it. And then I've got fresh stuff. I've got lots of stuff drying. And so that's kind of what I'm trying to do now, is just get a lot of things dried so I can eco print at any time. Because with me, I don't just use the leaves one time. I eco dye them, and then after that, I do the leaf prints or use them for jelly printing before they get all, you know, grungy. Most of them stay pretty sturdy, since I work with leaves, not flowers, mostly. I mean, I just don't have that many flowers that I'm willing to sacrifice, because I usually leave them for the critters. Not sure about either of those. What else do we have here? Tea bag. Six journals at once. Okay, so see, Zoe has an opinion on that, Lorna. She has an opinion. She says, wow, you're nuts. But I do the same thing. I like to do the mask making on some stuff. It's a contrast. Oh, maybe that's what goes on the green. All right, we're getting closer there. Oh man, that's too bad. And then that means that the prices for the food from the farmers is going to go up when they have that available again. I have a big blue one. I need a blue. I need a blue base here. It's kind of big, kind of bright. Meeny, meeny. Ooh, one of these. Do a small one with this. This stuff should fray pretty well. Hey, Dee Dee. Happy to see you. You are at work, I'm assuming. Busy little bee. You and Lorna both. So are you able to get back to work on your journals, Lorna, or are you still feeling a little too weak and needing to rest more? Because that's just, gosh, you were sick for a while and it hit you hard. And it's always when we're in the middle of something, right? It's not like, oh, I have all this free time just to laze around. It's a good time to get sick. No, it's when we have deadlines or, whether they're self-imposed or not. Okay, there we go. I'm liking this blue. That's good. I guess that's kind of bluish purple. Purple. Oh, you're on vacation. That's right. I forgot you were going to be taken off. Well, that's great. Hopefully you guys are having a good time. And Lorna's in bed. Okay. So whatever you bring out when you're filming is never the thing you wish you had nearby, right? Isn't that like one of those Murphy's Laws? Maybe the brown on the purple. I take so much time to make up my mind about what I want on what. It's crazy. Maybe we do it as a thin one. Hey, Shelby. Happy Wednesday. How are you doing today? Entertaining nieces. That's great. Why am I not liking any of this? This is just, I like this blue one. It's the only one I'm really excited about so far. Let's see. Maybe too white. Yeah. Okay, I like that. All right, we're making some progress on that one. That's about it. Sorry if this is loud in your ear. Okay. Still not, well, what if we did this the other way? We made us really, no, this needs to be the base. I'm not happy. Love this blue, but I don't have enough blue bases. Greens are kind of limey. I know, I'm picky. Story of my life. Oh, well. If you don't feel it, it's just kind of hard. I guess, I remember watching a lot of cluster videos, when they were doing the paper clusters and gathering them up and stapling them and work really fast. And I made some like that. And I thought, why am I in such a hurry? I don't have to be in a hurry. I'm enjoying this process. So I just kind of want to go with enjoying it. Okay, I like these two together. So let's just, I don't have to be in a hurry. You guys are here to hang with me. And if everybody leaves, I'll just keep working on these myself. I told myself this was what I was going to do today for a couple hours. And, why do we have to be in a hurry to make 100 of something when we're only going to use 2 or 3 in a journal and hopefully sell the rest? Why do we have to be in a hurry to finish a bunch of some things instead of enjoying the process of creating however many that we're going to create? I want to get back to enjoying the process. I did that crazy work for the deadline when I was writing and, doing work for hire stuff. And it was just very frustrating after a time. The joy needs to come from the work, because I think it shows in the work. I mean, yeah, you can, zip through a lot of the staple it together clusters and get some really interesting things. But for me, I don't know. I just feel like the joy comes through in whatever it is that you're working on. People can see. I really like that green. We can make that a base since we made it a top piece on the other one. What are you watching lately, Lorna, that you like? We've been binge watching old TV series that we never watched before. So we're going through the whole Chicago Fire, Chicago PD, Chicago Med stuff. Kind of wondering what TV is going to look like in the coming year. I like it when something's kind of hanging down, so. Gee, with all this fraying, I get more threads, and that's wonderful because I like using the threads. All right, contrast. This guy might go back over here. No. All right, maybe I should stop and just finish one so you guys can see what all I'm doing. All right, let's see. Some bark. Oh, I like this bark. Okay, it wants to break. Fine. And we need something behind it. It's funny, I bring out a variety of fibers and things, and then I tend to always go back to the same ones, my favorites. I love this. I guess it's like a jute twine thing, and kind of separate the braid, get it all nice and frayed. And one of the things I'm being reminded of as I do this cleanup reorganization thing is that, when we're working in books, our books are not huge. So, we need little scraps of fabric. We need little scraps of lace. So we don't need as much as we think we do, even though we fall in love with the products. And, especially if we see a video and somebody's using something that's awesome, or we're in a store and we see a fabric we fall in love with. But I need to remind myself that I'm working small. I'm not doing, I'm not decorating a living room. I'm decorating a book. It doesn't take a lot of stuff. All right. So we're going to take our little handy dandy art glitter glue. I just need a couple dabs just to hold stuff in place while I stitch. New zombie series. I don't know of any of those. I don't watch that kind of stuff. I'm one of those people who has to be careful what we watch just before we go to bed, because otherwise I have horrible dreams. So we always have to watch something happy after we watch something that's like really emotionally intense or scary. Probably need to switch to the Fabri-Tac. Which which hopefully will cooperate and come out. I didn't prep it. All right, where are we going to want this? We are going to want this. I might need a little something else. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe not. Maybe like that together. And I just don't want the strings. It's the only thing I don't like about the Fabri-Tac. Okay, and the smell's not that great. Okay. And which side is going to be the flattest that will hold it? I think this side. So I would never use Fabri-Tac for long range hold of something slick like these stones forever. It's just not designed for that. I'm just trying to hold it in place while I stitch. That's its only job. There. That's what we're working toward. And then needle and thread. What color thread on this? Is that going to be long enough? That'll be long enough, yeah. And then the infamous, can she thread the needle on camera? Got a really big eye on it, so hopefully I can manage that. Gonna have to start using those needle threaders though. My eyes are really going. There we go. Dee Dee, did you bring crafting stuff with you on vacation, or are you just concentrating on family and fun right now? And right now I'm just using one strand of embroidery floss because that happened to be what was there. And right away. Couldn't have done that if I'd planned it to go right through the knot. And made another knot. Oh boy. Well, let me just have to, oh, there we go. Whew. Yeah, I think these are going to be my addiction for a little while. And then I had to stop myself because I've got all my my stones are actually in jars, you know, old spice jars like this. But some of them have big stones and little stones mixed together. And I had to stop myself today from saying, oh, I should separate out all the big stones from the little chips. It's like, no, they can all stay in there. It takes me 2 minutes to pick out the big ones I want. And that's why it takes me forever to clean, is I find another project to do while I'm cleaning. It's like, oh, I should reorganize this. And is this really the way I want to store my beads or my buttons? Or I like the organizing part of stuff. Except when you get down to the end. And that's how you can tell you're like almost done, where you're looking at whatever your miscellaneous pile and you can't figure out where anything's going to go. I really like this. I might dab the thread with just a little bit of Distress ink. So it's just a little bit darker, but it's fine. And I don't think this rock's going to go anywhere. Oh, sorry, going quiet, concentrating, thinking about, do I need to put, since it's only got the Fabri-Tac, do I need to put anything up here? I don't know. Guess we'll let it dry for a little while, a few days, and see if it's loosening up much. Maybe I'll go in there with just a little dab of E6000. All right. Put that where I won't lose it. Done. I like it. It's exactly what I was hoping for. So I won't be zipping through these and getting a gazillion of them done today, and that's okay. All right, let's go differently. What if we start with something like a leaf, a broken leaf, and something like this. This piece of bark is going to just disintegrate on me, huh? Still want another piece of fabric back there, or something, a something. Nope, not liking it. Okay. Kind of a stone on there. Stick with the brown. That's kind of heavy. And some threads. Let's see. A few of you that are here with me, if somebody would leave me a thumbs up, that would be really nice. I appreciate it. All right, I think I like, yeah. All right, let's start with just a little dab. Well, I'm not going to sew the whole length of that, so we'll do the Fabri-Tac. Yeah, I think I spent too many years racing through whatever projects I was doing, looking for the finish line. And maybe some of that comes from, working in corporate where, of course, you were always on a deadline. You never had enough time to get your projects done. And there it was important to get to the finish line. And there wasn't a lot of joy in the process when I worked in tech. I didn't have the job because I loved it. I had the job because I needed to make money. So it was a little different. I like things to be a little off center because I'm a little off center. And just going to put some glue down and then let the threads fall wherever they're going to fall. So hard with Fabri-Tac, you don't want to squeeze too much and have it like fly it all over the place. I need to get some of those, was it Sugar Bell bottles that have a fine tip that's supposed to work with them? All right. Get that in there. Get out the blue thread. That doesn't really go. All right, then so a leaf left from a flower arrangement my husband brought home. Yeah, and I'm not coating these leaves and twigs and grasses in anything. You know, I'm working on nature journals, and you know, leaves and grasses and stuff are ephemeral and they're not going to last forever. Sometimes I go ahead and preserve things, but I also like the way things look. You know, they're going to decay over time, and I like that it shows the passage of time. Maybe that one does it need the bark? Not sure. Maybe should have put the leaf under the threads, but that's okay. We will roll with it. I can roll with it. I just don't roll with it very fast. Hello to more lurkers. If you have a chance to give me a shout out and let me know who's here. It's always fun to find out who's hanging around. Oh, I like that. I like that. I got to think about where the rock's going to go so that I can secure the rock and the bark. Can it go on top? I got fabric chalk on my fingers. Once you get it on your fingers, you feel it the rest of the day, even when you got it cleaned off. Maybe just like that. Then the thread's going to have to go. It's a really flat edge there, so I'd like the flat edge to be the one that gets the glue. That might not be the right stone. Let's see. Maybe something with a little bit more contrast. Ooh. Okay, I like that. Hey, Lorna. Thanks for letting me know you're here. Hope you're having a good day. I am just having a nice little relaxing playtime. Got a little glue on the bark where I don't want it. Let's see if we can get it off of there. Okay, I like that. All right, what color thread? We stay with the browns on this, maybe? Except that the rock isn't brown, so maybe we stay with the white. Or, ooh, I like that. We're gonna do this one. Yeah, my Canadian Lorna, she just, you know, she's got to be right there in the middle of it all. You know, I love you. I count on you to make me smile when I am stressed, and you are my rant sister. So grateful that I can rant to you about everything. So I probably won't get nearly as many done as I did last week, but I'm okay with that too. I've got, I just looked at some more stuff that I forgot I brought out here. Oh, okay, we'll play with that next. Forgot I brought out some moss and lichen. I don't know if you guys can hear my chimes, but the breeze is picked up. It's going like crazy. That's nice. Means we can keep the doors and windows open. Okay, and again, I did it with it. See, I'm just a bad sewer. Oh, well, we will just go with it. This is a really neat stone. And I'm gonna have to come the rest of the way over the bark. Sometimes the bark, if I'm using like cinnamon bark or eucalyptus bark, I can actually get my needle right through it. I can see a little bit of the glue. Oh, it's because the rock is slipping. get it sewn on, and then that won't be an issue anymore, right? I had the strangest dream last night. I dreamt that Zoe, our dog, was with me at the accountant's office while we were doing some emergency tax stuff, which hopefully I never have any kind of emergency tax stuff, but he wanted Zoe's tax return for some reason, and it was quite a strange game. It was a strange dream. I have no idea where that came from. Oh, you need some good ranting? You know what? We'll be chatting later, and I'll tell you, remind me later in privacy to tell you about my 4th of July rant. Although it's nothing to do in the art world, but oh, yeah, I will rant. Okay, I maybe need to let that set for a minute before I try. I'm going to put that aside and see if that Fabri-Tac will set that rock a little more, because it keeps slip sliding. Pretty soon there's not going to be anything left underneath. Hey, Mary, you made it. Happy to see you today. Hope you're having a good Wednesday. I'm making more of these because I had so much fun doing it last time. Let's see. Let's try just a little one. And there are, let's see, maybe a little bit of this rusted cheesecloth. Today, Lorna. Today. What do you mean today? Okay, I like that too. But it needs one more thing. You working on anything today, Mary? I'm being picky again. Yeah, being picky. Okay. I need a little green something in there, or a twig. Let's see. I took a little twig from here, just a very. Okay, I like that. And then this one. Nope, it's not quite right on that. Maybe some black. Little stringy things. And this is the stuff, when you're keeping all these little scraps, I like to have it like semi-sorted. So really having trouble figuring out how to keep all that stuff somewhat sorted out. I might give that one a little twig too. Okay, let's glue one. Then I'll go back. Yeah, that's set a little better now. You need to have patience. Let the stuff take hold and do its job. Just a little bit of Fabri-Tac. Oh, house hunting. Oh boy. That must be difficult during a pandemic, I would think. I wouldn't want to have to be looking for a house during this time. I think that would be hard. Let's see. I love this was the India ink on this cheesecloth, and it just gave it such a great texture. It's not stiff. It's stiffer than regular cheesecloth, but it's just, I don't know, it just feels neat. Should that be behind? No, it should be on top. And we want a smooth edge to glue. Are you looking to move in your same town, or are you moving a distance? Because when we were looking for this place, we were moving, it was just an hour away. It was in the same, state, and my husband was going to keep the same job, but we were moving about an hour away from where we currently live. So it was quite an adventure to go house hunting. Let's see. Almost looks too balanced. I think it needs a little something to rough it up. Just a small bit of fiber. Gina, hey! Oh my goodness. So Gina, you're doing the same thing that Mary's doing. Wow, brand new house. That's exciting. Did you move a distance, Gina? Oh my goodness, you get to set up a whole new craft room. How fun that's going to be. I hope. Yeah, I'm going to be here a while. I usually go from 12 to 2 on Wednesdays, California time. So are you going from a big house to a small house to a bigger house? Mary and Gina, the questions for each of you. What kind of changes is it going to be for you? For us, we went from a much bigger house to a big house with a tiny, tiny yard. We went to a much smaller house with a huge yard. That's almost too much fiber. Let's cut that in half. This one, yeah. Yep, that's what I wanted, just a little something else. Whoops, forgot to put the lid on the fiber jacket. I do not need that much. Lid on it, and okay, we'll let that one dry. We're going to go back over to this one. Oh, so you're going to a big house with a craft room. That's awesome. Yeah, for the year that it took us a year to find our house. So we sold our house, our big house, right away, and we had to move to an apartment. So all my art supplies were in storage for over a year before we could unpack things here. And then we bought a fixer upper. So we were here for a couple of years before we got to the part of the renovations that we could do my studio space. Well, that's going to be exciting then to do a big craft room. And Gina. Oh, so they're building it. Wow, that's exciting, Gina. Yeah, we left the huge city of San Jose, and I'm so glad we're not there with all this going on. Our guys have been back working on they were here, excuse me, on Friday, working on the sunroom. And now we're waiting for the tile to come in. So we're almost finished with that. We're trying to navigate how to get a generator set up because it has to be so far away from the house, and the utility side of the house is pretty narrow. So we're trying to figure out how to make that work. This one's long enough. Let's see. I can go right in here. Well, it's really fun if you've got a brand new house and you get to pick everything out that you want, where you want it. I don't know if it's easier to start from scratch or to start with bones like we did, because by the time we're done, we'll have redone every room in the house. But we just couldn't do it all at once. But yeah, the country, that's me too. Oh, you know what, Gina? Yeah, let's talk after that. because I got to make room. The beads, I won't live long enough to use them all. It's crazy. I'm sorry, I totally dropped the ball on that one. Yeah, because the seed beads, my eyes are getting so bad, it's just really hard. Threading needles are hard enough. Yeah, I think that's okay. I sort of feel like I want to do something else. Let's see. If I come up here, can I do that? I'm going to hit the bark. Yeah, it's not going to let me go through. Maybe I can make it work. Okay, I like that. I just kind of want to give it a little bit more of a cradle, I think. And I just unthreaded my needle. That's what happens when it gets shorter. Let's see if we can tie this off nicely. Should have thought of that before I ran out of thread. Woo, look at that. Okay, I went back down here. So Gina, are you able to craft while you've been waiting for the house to be done? And how is the family, Gina? Everybody doing okay? Boy, I just did it again. I was pushing my luck there on that one. Let's see if I can get through one more time. Oh, that's awesome that it's just exactly what you want. I think I would be like, I would have a hard time doing a whole house all at once. My husband and I often say how nice it's been that we have done our project over the years because, we weren't quite sure what we wanted coming from such a big place to a smaller place and trying to make the best use of what we've got. And then trying to keep it, for aging in place so that we didn't have future issues. And then of course, trying to be reasonably priced because we didn't have gobs of money. So I think doing it in stages has been really good for us in that regard. I know if we had tried to design my studio right away, there's no way I would have been able to get this beautiful space that I have. Ooh, do I have enough that I can make a knot of some kind? I hope. Let's get the blue thread off of there again. Just enough for a knot, it looks like. Okay, I like that one a lot. I sewed it that way, but it almost looks like maybe it wants to go that way. Which is fine. Let's just fray this bottom edge just a little more here. So Gina, you'll have family and stuff to help you move, right? Mary, you won't. The moving stuff, the process of the moving, the packing. Oh, such a process. All right. This one wants what color thread? This one wants. Oh, maybe I'll stick with that gold. Yep, I like the gold. We'll stick with that. Oh, a year. Yeah, okay. Gorgeous, I bet. Yeah, it's funny, Facebook throws up the memories and shows you, what you were doing if you posted about it, every year. And this week it's been that a year ago they started on the sunroom and, we're not done yet. Of course, they just dropped off all the doors when the shutdown went into effect. And we work really slowly with our stuff also because of the deal we made with our contractor, which, because he didn't want to take us on. He was so booked, but he was the one we really wanted because he was so good and we felt a connection with him. So we said that we would take him whenever he had time, so he doesn't come here and work on our place for a month. He comes and, works 1 day a week, and then I might not see him for a couple weeks, and then he'll come back, or he'll send the guys back. So, but in a couple weeks, the tile should be in, and then they'll come do we'll be ready for the final. Then we can start tackling things like the retaining wall of doom, the roof, the generator, converting from septic to sewer. We're the only house on our street, which is a pretty long loop, that is not on the city sewer. Get some rest, Lorna, and feel better, okay? We will chat later. And of course, with home ownership, there's always something. Okay, I should have frayed this stuff a little more. Get in there and spread it. Yeah, our kitchen. My husband had a huge kitchen at the old place, and this place he's had to make do with a much smaller kitchen, and it's not going to get quite the makeover that the rest of the house is going to get. We do need a new countertop, but we're not going to replace the cabinets right now, not unless we suddenly win the lottery. I am waiting for deliveries today too. I made an order from Lindy's Stamp Gang for more of my magicals. Just finally said, fine, I'm just going to go ahead and order all the colors I want, so I have them here. And I'm excited they're going to be here today. Although we let everything sit out in the sunroom for a few days before we open it. See, now these little tiny scraps are making such an impact, and I don't know why. I feel like I had to have so many things that were large and bulky and took up space. And I mean, it's great and I'll use them, but I need to get going on creating, because boy. All right, let's tie these guys off. Yeah, and the workers and the masks. Oh, that's hard. All right, I got 3 done. That's okay. I need to hydrate. Hey, Joey, how you doing? Haven't seen you for a while. I am having a play with my stuffs. Okay, I really want to use this. Maybe this piece is too big. What are you working on lately, Joey? I'm doing small stuff because I am still doing the studio clean out. It's ridiculous that it's taken me so long, but I'm glad that it's taken me so long because I'm really getting reacquainted with a lot of my materials, and it's making me happy. Need something in there. I don't know what the something is. A little bit of, maybe that. Maybe, sorry. That could be it. It could be that simple. Maybe. I do like the sorry on there. A little bit of it. Zoe has an opinion. Maybe she's not that crazy. Part 3 of a vintage. Those of you that don't know Joey's channel, you need to go look her up. Her channel is her name. She's got, you want to use your papers up. You want to use up your junk stuff that you've been saving. She's got some great ideas for you. All right, let's see what color stone. I think white's going to be too much. Like the narrow ones like that, they're easier to sew on. Put that little bit of book text in there where I can see a little. All right, I like that. That's what we're going with. Gina, when you come back, you have to tell us what you got from UPS. Hopefully you got some good artsy goodies, unless it's something for the new house. That's one of the hardest things about moving, the packing and the actual move and then getting resettled, is that you don't have time to do the creative stuff that you normally count on to help keep you sane. Or at least that's the case in some people, I guess, can. If I'd have been doing more like hand stowing when we were moving, it might have been easier. I doodled a lot. That was basically my thing. I did a lot of pen and ink stuff, pen work. Wished I'd been doing digis then. That would have been a good thing as well. All right, that doesn't want to do what I want there. So maybe we're going to do that. I love when you've got a book and you get this great old paper from the binding, from the spine. All right, and then, all right, this is going to go good here. This is just some lichen from our oak trees are covered with it. So when the branches fall down, I pick it apart. This thread decided it wanted to hang out. All right, and where do we want the stone? Where's the part that's best for gluing? Somebody's walking by Zoe's window. There's mailboxes for the whole road on the window outside my studio, or on the road outside the window outside my studio, I guess is the way to put it. And Zoe keeps watch there, and she's not crazy when people go by to get their mail. All right, what color thread on this one? Vintage lanterns for outside the front of the house, front door. Ooh, nice. This feels unbalanced. It needed something else. Needed something. Maybe it just needs another twig. Can I squeeze that in there maybe? What do we think? Can I squeeze it? Oh yeah, okay, just a little bit back there. I did love shopping for things like the bathroom fixtures and the light fixtures. Very anxious for them to come back and finish the sunroom so we can have a light outside the front door. I've had that for quite a while. All right, thread. Let's see if we do the same colors as sari. Brown. I think this one we're going to do the brown. Thanks, Mary. These just make me happy. They just make me happy. They feel like me. So I'm debating about if I'm going to make them to sell. How big of a batch would I make them to sell in? Batches of 3, 5, I don't know. Individually, Would be nice if I could get it just in one envelope, but then you worry about the the padding. I don't know. Shipping always befuddles me. It's what stops me from listing a lot of the stuff. It's like, oh, I have figurines that I used to collect from my writing days. They're all about, characters that are either reading or writing. And I'd sold off a lot years ago, and I've got a lot more that I want to sell off. But she's the thought of taking all the pictures and the listing and the pricings. But if you want to sell, that's what you got to do. Thanks, Shelby. Yeah, they are different. Suppose I should do a short video just making one rather than a live. That might get a little bit more views, inspire some more people. Not everybody wants to sit through a 2-hour live. Seven years. Oh my goodness, Gina. Wow. And thank you. I'm really trying to honor my own artistic self, which is something that I found that I wasn't doing with some of the things that I was working on. I think because I had a lot of custom orders, which I'm very proud of the work I did, but it was moving me away from the kind of work that I wanted to do. Just sort of like when I was in publishing and I was doing work for hire, I wasn't writing the book of my heart. I was writing the book that somebody was paying me to write based on their ideas. So one of the things that this huge, reorganization is doing for me is helping me get back in touch with myself as an artist and the materials that I like to work with. And, what makes me happy? I mean, if you're not happy doing this stuff, why do it? There's a lot of things that I enjoy looking at, artistically that are not my style that I want to create in. Like I'm fascinated by looking at the steampunk stuff. I find it absolutely fascinating, but I have no desire to create steampunk things. And that's fine. I mean, you can still be inspired by other styles of art. Even now when I look at like modern abstract art, which, is not my thing. Our house is very nature oriented, very simple. When I look at abstract stuff, I look at it and I'm thinking about textures and I'm thinking about colors. And, there's something we can learn from all of it if we're taking time, if we're not racing to the finish line thinking, oh my goodness, I've got to get this done right now. It's got to be done. It's got to be done. Oh my gosh, it's got to be done. Which is also why I had cut way back on custom work, is because the deadlines weren't working for me. I mean, at my age, I want to work on the things I want to work on when I want to work on them. If I do that, am I going to see the threads? It's getting all caught up in the lichen. Yeah, I like that. Wow, I'm going to have to go back to the eye doctor and see if he can do something to help me see. I'm just sort of sewing by feel right here. You like the live stream, Mary? You've always been such a good supporter. I'm really grateful for you. Thank you. Yeah, I think I'll just do another video, though, real short, like one of my make-aheads, just to show people making one, because I think a lot of people, they come to my channel and they see recorded live stream and they're like, nah, I'm not going to sit there for 2 hours. People sit there for 2 hours for some of the big names, but I'm not a big name, and that's okay. And right now, all I've been doing, my videos, I think I have a couple videos I still need to post that I had some things to share, but for the most part, I've just been doing the live streams because that's what I have the time for. And I want to get back to doing more other videos, and I haven't forgotten, Mary, the eco printing stuff I promised you. Just wasn't ready for it this week. All right, we're just going to say that is enough of a knot. That is enough of a knot. Let me put a little bit of glue there if we're worried about it. Missed it. There we go. All right, 4. That's not too bad. Maybe I will get as many done as I did last week. Put my needle where I won't lose it. Oh, thank you, Gina. Yeah, and I've got 3 copyright videos all about being involved in journal making, and I think they're getting, a little bit ahead of themselves. They're not thinking it through. They're not following the rules. What am I going to put on here? And it's nice to hear that, because sometimes, you've been doing things for a while and you think, well, my channel's not growing at the rate of, you fall into the compare trap. Oh, my channel's not growing like everybody else's, or this isn't happening like everybody else's. And, I fall into the compare trap all the time. I did when I was writing, and I do with my art. And then I have to realize, the style of my channel, the style of my creations, the speed, I'm not a fast artist at all, because, as I said, I'm trying to really get myself back to taking joy in the process. And I need to be okay with that. Now, if you didn't have these gemstones, there's no reason you couldn't do all these other little layers and just, do some little slow stitching on top of it, which is actually what I was going to do last week. And I just got sidetracked because I was so happy with the way things came out with the gemstones. Let's see. Make a little nest. And I mean, we all compare, and it's hard. It's hard not to. But it's better if we can learn not to, because, we all have different gifts. And it's wonderful to see everybody's different gifts. Sorry, I was not like you needed to actually see me applying glue, but I didn't mean to pull myself back. Just a tiny bit there. Eventually I'll get back to using up all the journal cards and tags that I have all the bases done for. I was really going to do tags to keep up with the challenges that were going on, but yeah, I don't do challenges or swaps well, because, again, I'm slow and easily distracted. Slow and easily distracted. That's not a good combination. All right, let's see. That kind of peeking out there. And I want that to be the base. And then sorting the fabric scraps. So there's going to be a lot of sewing coming up, because, boy, do I have a lot of scraps to use up. Ooh, should have had this guy a little lower. Oh, well. Doggone it. Let's see. Can I still pull it? I can. Okay, that's a little better. Where's my needle? See if I can spread some of that before the glue's completely dry. All right, we're going to let that set for a minute before we try and sew it. I learned that lesson. All right, what else do we have here that I love? Lid on here. I don't know if these would work or not. I might. Look good with the purple, huh? What else have we got here? We have, I know I dyed a bunch of purple stuff. Not loving it. Not loving it. Come on, there should be more of this huge pile of fabric scraps that have been dyed. I was thinking that I would have so many choices that I would not have any problems. Ha 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 ha. All right, maybe what we need is a solid color. Let's try that. No. It's a little wild, huh? That is a little wild. But this is part of my process. When I'm doing collages, you know, whether they're on a canvas or in a book, more than just a couple things together, and even sometimes when it's just a couple things together, I tend to leave it out on my studio island and walk by it a gazillion times. I will just leave it out and, you know, move a couple things around and then walk by it again and move a little bit more. Wow, wind has really come up. And that is part of my process, and I need to honor that part of my process, that I take my time. I would say it probably started off because I wasn't really confident. Well, I don't know that I'm ever confident about what I'm working on. Every new project I start, I'm like, oh, I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to do this. Everybody's going to think I'm crazy. It's going to, you know, it's going to fail. It's going to fail. Oh my goodness. Well, you know what? If it fails, it fails. It's not like it killed somebody. I'm not doing brain surgery. So I need to just enjoy the process. And I really enjoy leaving things in process out on the island. And it says, it needs a little something more. And then you start dinking with it. One of the things I've been doing lately is, while I'm working, is it was from Jeannie Oliver. Or is it Jean? I don't know if it's Jean or Jeannie. And she said something that I thought was really true for me as well. She said that in the gathering of the materials, you know, you get your inspiration from gathering these materials, and the tactileness of just touching all this stuff and looking at, you know, putting the colors together and deciding what you like and don't like. And, you know, that's what brings it all together for me, is, you know, going to the garden and seeing what pieces of bark or twigs that I might want to use on something. I want something flatter. I'm going to use another piece of this. I really like this. I don't remember what this was from. So trust your process. You know, maybe you're a speed demon. Maybe you are somebody that likes to zip through that kind of stuff. I'm thinking that the petals are not going to go on there. If I take that aside and instead I do the petals, what would I put with that stone-wise? I would need threads. Let's think about this. Let's see. I don't think the petals are going to do it. I think they don't look right. I think I could do something different with the petals, but not this. Save all these guys because they're great when I'm making paper to use as inclusions. All right, so if we go back to this, and we have some threads, not a lot. So let's cut these guys off. And maybe this little piece of lichen. That stone is too big. I like the white though. Maybe just a little touch. And then it needs one more thing. I forgot to go grab some pine needles today. Or what's left of some seed heads from some grasses. Oh, and I like this string. These are the strings from tea bags. So I like the color on that part. And let's see if we can shred this out just a little. Yeah, and hopefully people are crafting along with me, or, you know, I appreciate, I mean, there's not a lot of you here, and I'm okay with that. I'm still going to come back every Wednesday for those of you that are here, and I'm very grateful that you hang with me. I hope everybody's doing okay. Here in California, as you know, some of you know, it's getting bad again. Our county seems to still be okay, but they were saying in the public health the other day that they expect in a couple of weeks for things to get bad again. So I'm glad that we've got everything pretty well stocked up here at home and don't really have to go out. All right, so maybe on this one we want it. No, I like it the other way. Okay, let's glue this guy down. Bit by bit, layer by layer. Hey Carla, how you doing? You getting stuff done today? I had so much fun doing these last week. I decided I needed to do some more. Basically, the reason is that I never cleaned off my desk from last week, but I did have a good time doing them, and I do want to make more. And this lately, doing the lives have been the only time I'm getting anything artsy done because I'm still doing the huge clean out. Right, a few threads. Oh, awesome. What program are you using? The voiceovers I really like. Those are fun to do. Sometimes it's just like the absolute best thing for a video. I haven't done the speeded up one yet. I should probably figure that one out myself. Although I'll wait until I'm actually back creating a lot again. Which I'm hoping. I'm going to say August because it looks like all of this is taking me much longer than I thought it would. Story of my life. Everything. I'm really bad at guesstimating how long something's going to take to do, and also whether something will fit in a certain place. Like parallel parking, forget it. I haven't parallel parked in years. I don't think I ever will again if I can help it. All right, and then, yeah, I kind of want these guys. Maybe put them together with the. Oh, good. Use what you have. Nice. Yeah, I've been using Wondershare for my editing, mostly because I guess it's Filmora now. It used to be called Wondershare, but the company is still called Wondershare, I think. But when they first started up, like 10 years ago or so, they were the ones that I used. So I have stuck with them because I can update for free, and they have lots of YouTube videos showing how to do all the new stuff. I just haven't sat down and played with it yet. Everything takes time, and I seem to stink at having much extra time left for stuff. All right. This won't seep through, so I can get a lot on there. I don't know if I'm going to have any threads going over it. And I'm going to tuck that just like that. Florida's getting bad too. Oh, yeah. What did they say? Is it Miami, the hot spot there right now? Are you close to the hot spot? My mom's in Arizona, and I know they're really bad there too. All right, now we need to pick a color of thread. Oh, good. So I should be able to do this one and finish the other. Okay, that one has to dry. So we've got 2 to sew. This one, I kind of think I like, this shades of brown. Which brown? I like that brown, the rusty brown. I found all my rusted fabric that I had done last year. I had it buried, so glad to get that out. We'll make some journal covers. No, it's not a free program. I think I want to say it's like $60 now to buy it. But once you buy it one time, then there's no subscription service. And it's Film, FILMORA. And they have fabulous videos. Daniel does some great videos on his channel. His last name escapes me right now, but walking you through all the steps. It's very intuitive, I think, to use. And to me, if I didn't have it already, it would be worth the price for me right now. Shoot, I can't remember the free programs. There are a couple of free ones out there that are supposed to be very good, though. Remind me when we're chatting about beads, if you want to know about the free programs, I will. There were a couple because I was recommending to another friend. Actually, this looks like I'm going to be about the same amount that I did last week. And that kind of gives me an idea how long it takes me to do these. Ah, okay. Halfway between. Well, I'm glad you're not in the middle of the hot spots. Yeah, the counties on each side of us are having to do more serious shutdowns. So I think that's why the health department in our county said, we're probably a couple weeks behind them. It's people being stupid. I mean, we're right outside of the tourist town, and, people going to the beaches, hanging out, and I have no desire to go sit down in a restaurant or in a crowded room. I mean, I miss getting together with our friends. We used to go every week to the local pub and play trivia, and I miss that, but I would rather us all be safe. Plus, most of us are, in an age group now where things start to get a little scarier. Okay. That one's a little higher than I wanted on the rock. Let's see if we can scooch it down some. I could put some little eyelets in these and they would be cute little dangles, huh? Might do that in the next batch. Okay, Gina, I'll dig that out for you. There's a couple of them that are highly recommended. Yeah, I understand wanting to go to the beach and hang with your friends and, stuff, but the thing I guess so many people don't understand or they just choose to ignore is how you can be a carrier without having any symptoms. So why not protect your loved ones? And we went to see my in-laws because it was Father's Day that we were there. And I don't know that we'll go back for a while now that things are getting bad again because they're both older. And my father-in-law's got a heart condition, so the name, Gina, it's right there on the tip of my tongue, and I cannot think of it. Are you on Windows or Mac, Gina? I feel like it needs to be thicker. So shoot, sometimes I wished I'd put 2 threads in, but that's okay. I can always decide later I want to do something else. I can always go back and add to it. That's kind of neat. For a while, our beaches were closed like after a certain hour or in the middle of the day, I guess, and they were open after hours or something, but I don't remember. Since we don't go anywhere, it's like, we're just staying here. I hope the guys can get the sunroom done before things get pulled back again. I mean, we're just waiting for the tile to come in. I can't remember if he said it was going to be 1 or 2 weeks. But at least they got the door, the new front door on, so that the old front, because we moved the front of the door, the front of the house out to the front of the sunroom. So now we can have that space open. And it's funny how just a little thing like that makes the house feel so much bigger. Well, I'm not doing a very good job knotting this one. And then I lose my thread. All right, my fingers have got Fabri-Tac on it. Nothing's operating right. Okay. Well, we're going to do the whole little dab of glue when we're not sure if we got a good knot. That will hold it. I guess if I was going to do it as a dangle, I'd do like maybe just glue a scrap of fabric on the back of it. Actually, I thought of something now. I've been cutting out or cutting the labels off of these upholstery samples. And they left me a shape with the fabric on it that was long enough for a tag. I was thinking about that. So maybe I will do that next week with some of these. Okay, thread, color darker brown maybe. Yeah. Windows. Okay. We can get you fixed up, Gina. Boy, I could just keep making these for days. I just really, really like them. Ooh, water is good. Be sure to hydrate. I noticed a big difference in my recovery time after a live when I have remembered to drink my water throughout the program. Not dry yet. Let's see. Thread the needle. Well, one thing I discovered in this reorganizing of things is I had the same stuff in like 3 different places. Like I had fabric scrap boxes in the studio, in the living room, in another part of the living room. And it was so crazy because I really only, whoops, that wasn't a very good knot. It went right through the linen. And then you think you don't have enough of something because you don't have a scrap box in that place. So I guess that's what I was doing, is I was making sure I had it in the right places. But now I'm only keeping things in one place, except for scissors. Oh my goodness. I now have scissors in all 4 corners of the studio. I have scissors hanging in the fabric closet. I have scissors on every desk that I craft on. And I tell you what, that is really good. None of this happened to hunt around for where's the closest pair of scissors. All right, stitching through the fabric tack. That part's not fun. I can't see. Oh, this might be my favorite today. I don't know. I've got a lot of favorites today. I'm pretty happy with this batch. So I really have a hankering to do some patchwork stuff with all the scraps I found. I have some heat and bond that I had picked up at the Goodwill a couple years ago and finally refound that. So I think I'm just going to do a bunch of tonal pieces onto backing that's big enough for journal covers, and then there'll be actual pieces of fabric rather than scraps, and be a little bit easier to manage, I think. I need to rearrange my lights so I have one light that's coming right down. That's what the problem is I don't have any light coming right down on where I'm working. Just another equipment adjustment. I have to make a decision about buttons too. I realize I do not use buttons that often, so I don't know. Right now I've got a big box of buttons that's on one of the shelves, but then I have buttons somewhat sorted in jars that I think is in prime real estate, and I think they don't deserve prime real estate. So I might need to move them to a new home. Oh, I like this one a lot. All right, I'm going to do up the sides just a little, just because it makes me happy to do so. Doesn't really matter, so let's just tie this off. Now I'm thinking about these as dangles. Could just do a coordinating fabric on the back, maybe with a quote or something on it. So then each side you had something to look at. That means me and the crocodile will have to have a meeting. Okay, I like that one. I like that one. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I can't end on an even number. I have to do 7 because I don't do good with even numbers. I need odd numbers. All right, let's see. I wouldn't mind doing another blue because, boy, that was pretty. Let's take, I'll do this. It needs to be ironed at that part. Go ahead and cut the part that doesn't need to be ironed. And nope. I think I had a blue tea bag. I did. I haven't. I had blue cheesecloth. I might not have brought the blue cheesecloth out. I did bring the blue cheesecloth out. Well, looky there. All right, what can we do with the blue? I'm going to have to give in and do a blue journal eventually. I keep doing all these blue things. Blue tag, that might not work. Trying to find something we haven't played with yet. Cut this apart from a placemat. Let's see what it looks like. I don't know if we can get really a nice frame. Might be a little bit. Yikes. Yeah, be safe, Carla. Hey, Janet. Welcome. Eli and Eden, Pamela. Oh, Pamela. Yes. Hi. We're doing well. How about you? Janet, you're home for the day? Not working? That part sounds good. You remember what I was working on last week. I couldn't leave it alone. Had to do some more. Not sure. This looks a little too perfect. I don't want something that looks perfect. If I can get all these things unraveled, I would like it better. I'm just taking a needle and trying to tease it, but it's going to take time. I think this will be a little too time consuming. Yeah, I think that's a project for another time. Janet, you took the afternoon off. That's good. Good for you. Taking care of Janet. This, it's not really natural, but it's kind of interesting. Maybe a little bit of that peeking out. This is some weird plasticky something or another that I got once upon a time. All right, I'm going to fray this to start. You're ecstatic. So you're going to play with something this afternoon? Are you working on some great project? This is my rest time, actually sitting here with you guys. Then I'll go back in and work on the studio a bit more. Let's see. Get this. Got all the windows open. You can hear people talking as they're walking around outside. And we've got a really nice area to walk around here. Let's see. The ones that have been dyed with India ink, they really do not want to fray. As you can get there, it just takes some time. All right. Which side better? No, I like this side better because it's got that dark thing. Kind of like this there. And then if we take not all of it, just some of the cheesecloth. Just have a little bit of that peeking out. All right, and then we need threads. What color threads do we want on this one? Ooh, let's mix the two browns. I can't believe I save all these threads, but I do, and I'm so happy when I do because they add just something else that I really like. Botanical themed, yes. Hey, Carolyn. How are you doing? Caroline, sorry. You come in from your garden today and decide to watch some videos. Been enjoying that beautiful garden of yours? Okay, so let's start by gluing down the stuff that we know is going to take a little bit of time to set. I'm pretty sure the Fabri-Tac will hold this. Hopefully by the time we pile enough other stuff on it. All right, and we're gonna cover up a lot of that so we won't see the glue. Probably enough of the glue coming through the plastic thing to hold this, but just in case. Yeah, just a little bit of that peeking through. And okay, so you're easy on that. I just always feel bad when I mispronounce people's names, and I'm really bad at pronouncing things correctly. And then if it's a foreign name, I really mangle it, and then I feel so bad. All right, let's just mix these guys up a little bit and plop them on the glue. Except that, of course, I have Fabri-Tac on my fingers, so they want to pile right back off again. All right, there's a little too much division. I want these guys mixed up, not perfectly divided. And too much over here. All right, we need just a little bit. This is going to be a disaster. That's not going to want to work. Ooh, ooh. Maybe it worked. Maybe it worked. It worked. Okay. Whew. Okay, let's put the lid back on that guy. I do. Sweet Caroline. Yes. Well, that's a lot better than the one I used to get in school, which was Run Around Sue. All right. I did not pick a stone. Oh, I like that. But we need something else. We need something. We need a stick. We need a stick. No, that's too busy. A gray stick would be really nice. Maybe a couple. I don't know. Let's see. Okay, I like this. I like this one. I feel like I hit my groove now. It's taking some time getting started, but I feel like I found my groove. I'm just gonna have to make sure I catch these guys with the stitches. And maybe just put the glue on top. That'll help hold it because we know the rock's going to go there. Yeah, threads and Fabri-Tac. All right, and then we're going to use the smoothest part of the rock to go down, and we have the more interesting part sticking up. That one's going to be good. All right, since we have to let that set, we might as well lay out another one, right? And then I'm going to be back to even numbers again. Shoot. How fast could I lay out two? How fast could I lay out two? I'm not sure. But we're going to try. Because the sewing doesn't take that long. I had my bigger one here, but I just couldn't figure out what worked with it. Maybe it's too big. And then if we start with, that's a leaf, one piece of bark. Piece of bark. And then we need some more threads. Okay, Gina, I'm going to send you a note later, okay, both with the free video thing and then some pictures. Oh, yikes. Hope he's safe. Take care. All right. I just really love this look. These little guys here. I'm going to add, oh, maybe the green cheesecloth. I almost said cheesecake again. I got a hankering for some cheesecake, I think. Whoops, wrong shade of green. Yeah, these greens are not right. I'll go with the, let's go with some of this black stuff there. And then just little bits of sisal. Did a little differently this time. And then a skinny stone that I could almost set inside there. It's weighted wrong. I need to get the needs to be lighter down here. There we go. All right, that one's laid out. Can we lay out one more? I might go. Let's see if we could do another purple. This one, a little bit that we cut off. See, I can work fast, but I think it's because I'm already in the zone. That's why I couldn't sit down and work that fast to start with. Sorry, I'm not talking through all this. You guys need to ask me questions, then there's something to talk about. If I break this, then I can sew it on with threads. But I don't like it on that. I want to brown something. Looking for bases, looking for bases. No. Start off with everything all nice and neat. And then, of course, by the end of the project or the end of the live, stuff is everywhere. All right. If we had this, we did a long one. I'm liking that better. But this needs to be a little smaller. And is that too wide? Well, no, I think we'll be okay with that. We'll just shred it. Shred it. All my lurkers back there. Hope you're doing good. Appreciate people hanging with me today. Sorry, I'm not super talkative. I have a day like that when I'm not super talkative and I think, oh, maybe I shouldn't do the lives. Maybe I should just wait until I have projects, ready to do regular videos. I don't, one day you want to do one thing, one day you want to do something else. All right, I like this. We got threads hanging. We got this guy slightly off center. We have the bark, which has got some really cool texture. And another long, skinny stem. Well, long is relative. These are not really long. Like that. And then we need, I think white would be too bright. Some of this color left. Stick with our neutrals. And what else to go with it? Maybe that's enough. Maybe, I do have a couple little pine needles left from last week. All right, so we have this and some threads. Let's see. Okay, I really love my broken leaf. But I'm not going to be able to stitch through that very easily, so no. It's pine needles and the number 3. All right, let's start gluing some stuff down. This is really thin fabric. And fabric tack for the threads. Hey, Les. Oh, you're making clusters too, Caroline? Yeah, I'm going to have to do a bunch of fabric ones or snippet ones. I've got so many scraps from this, reorg that I'm doing in the studio. All right, let's, come on, just kind of randomize these threads. All right, now, do we want the pine needles in front of the bark or behind the bark or beside the bark? Ooh, I kind of like it like that. Let's see if we can get those to stay. What are you working on today, Les? Anything exciting, or are you just getting inspired by watching videos? That was me yesterday. I just had them playing while I was working on cleanup and got me very inspired. All right, and then the stone is going to go where? Where is the stone going to go? So I need to be able to stitch. Shoot. Maybe I didn't plan that one right. Go like that. I can, okay. I think I can make that work. One thing at least I've learned is to remember to leave place for me to be able to stitch through. Now I can get that at each end. Okay, that's got a set. Let's see if we can get this one. This one's ready to glue, but let's get this one drying. Oh, so you're getting your whole new space set up. That's exciting. Are you going to have more room to create in or less than before? I swear with all this reorg I've been doing, it feels like we just moved into this place because it's just like figuring stuff out all over again and finding materials that you haven't seen for a long time. So it's like, whoa, this is brand new to me. All right, now just a little dab wherever the glue wants to fall, and that'll hopefully be enough for this. See, I have all this lace, and lace is not something that would go on these at all. So I definitely need to make some lace clusters to use some things up. All right, then I want to put this kind of underneath some things. Sort of looks like a horse's tail. And not much cinnamon bark smell left in this. So if I do this stone and I put it right on top of the bark, I think that'll work. Then we'll have 3 more that we can stitch. Wow, this is even better than I did last week. So I'm running a little over my time, but make me feel good that I got some stuff done. Some new stuff made. All right, I don't want the loops showing, so we're just going to cut those so they're loose. Oh, this one's got a nice rough edge. For those of you that just came in, I am using Fabri-Tac to hold stuff down while I stitch the stones on. I would not use it to hold the stones on their own. It's not what it's made for, so it's not going to hold it forever. All right, now let's thread some needles. Let's put the glue. Oh, let's find the needle. Oh dear. This isn't good. Let's hope we can find the needle. Get the glue out of the way. Ah, there we go. Whew. That was almost exciting. Oh, that sounds marvelous, Les. You're going to love it. Absolutely love it. All right. We want an accent. That one might get this. This one might get this. This one might even need something lighter. Yeah. Might have some of that pulled already. Yeah. Okay. I love the idea of all the space in a basement, but basement equals stairs. So that part, whew. We had stairs at our last house, and that was one of the things that was our absolutes when we were looking for this place, was no stairs. This one's going to be a little tricky to stitch down, so I think it's going to get a cross stitch. It. But if anybody has any bright ideas on what to use, how to use up little tiny chips like that, let me know, because I still have tons of those and I just haven't figured out a good use for them yet. So for me, the trick on these is I want the stitches to look neat as well as being effective. So the odd shape ones, they are a little trickier. Yeah, I've got a bunch of the little vials like that I store tiny ones in, but I kind of like to use them for some. I mean, I have gobs. I have so many. And I can use them like on a cover. I can glue them down, but you can only use so many though. It's part of my ridiculous obsessive personality that I have so much of that. Yeah, it's going to need something else here. Let's see. We can slide this one over. And I don't know if I come from over here, is that going to be, well, that's sort of what needs to be done in order to hold it on. So we're going to do it. Thank you. I'm just really enjoying pulling these together from my goodies around the yard. And well, the stones are not from the yard. The stones are from me being crazy buying a gazillion of them years ago and moving them like, 5 times and not remembering what the initial purchase was for. Okay, that's not bad. I might need to slide this one over. Just a little. Oh, well, that wasn't the intention. We're going to have to rethread this. Rethread the very, very short thread. All right, so I'm going to run a little bit over, but it's going to be worth it because I'm going to have even more done than last week. Okay, so what I wanted to do was just catch this one here and slide it down. Yeah, like that, just a little. Now go back down here and then make a knot. I wish I had all the stones I'd collected when I was a kid. Stones and shells. Alas, they did not move with me over the years. I do have stones that I brought over from our old place that we had collected when we had kind of tried to make the ground a little smoother. I haven't even started using those yet because those are just in a basket outside on the deck. And I guess I was going to do a mosaic with them years ago, which I have never done anything like that. So I was inspired, I guess, and bought them. And all right, that one's done. Yeah. Okay. 2 more. The sewing doesn't take that long at all. So whoops, flip that one over before it was dry, before the knot part was dry. All right, let's see. This guy. Oh, good. I'm using up my that. Is that going to be long enough? Oh, wait a minute. Here's some of this already out. Maybe that's longer. Yeah, that's longer. Hey, Maria. How you doing? Hi, Valerie. Yeah, I got a little obsessive. I'm still going today. Got 2 more to stitch up. It's going to make me feel very accomplished, which feels good then when I have to go back to cleaning, because cleaning, doesn't, it's an accomplishment, but it's not nearly as much fun as creating something. All right, this guy. Ooh, he's not completely dry, so I got to be careful that I don't squish the glue out. Don't squeeze the rock. What have you been working on lately, Maria? And how is it working, you know, being back in the office? And then there's the occasional short white hairs that belong to the dog and the long white hairs that belong to me. They don't exactly go with the design, so. Thank you, Valerie. Thanks, Luz. It's just really fun to use them up like this. Yeah, I'm happy with today's accomplishment here. This is makes me want to make the journals that these are going to go in, so that's nice motivation. I love stuff just hanging off the bottoms. I definitely thinking I'm gonna make some into dangles or make some dangles with these, some of them. Make some new ones into dangles. I don't know, something. Maybe that's what I'll do next week, because chances are I'm not going to clean off my desk from this stuff, and this might be another week of it, so you guys might get bored, but I'm enjoying doing them. And if you come along for the ride, that maybe see some loops here. I'm going to get the loops off so it doesn't look too precise. Hopefully you won't get too bored, but oh, that's good, Maria. I'm glad that you don't have to be in there every day. Okay, now knock this one off. And my husband's still working from home all the time, and I am so glad. All right. Oh, I like that one a lot. I know if Lorna was here, she'd be giving me a bad time. Say, see, the ones you did really quick, those are the ones you like. But let's see if I can space these out a little bit. Oh, super happy. Okay, one more to sew. You know what bugs me about this? The pine needles are all the same length. I should have staggered them. There, that looks better. Even though I know they're all the same length on the pine tree, they were just bugging me like that. Trying to break that perfectionist habit, and that's a hard one to break. Well, hopefully I didn't say something weird in the title. Did I do a typo, Maria? That would be embarrassing. Thanks, Mary. Yeah, they're clusters I'm working on. Oh, okay, so I see. You just read the title and saw that that's what they are. Yeah, they're my version of clusters, because I have, okay, it started because I have all these gemstones that are undrilled. And I have some that are big, but I have a lot that are tiny, tiny chips like this. And so in organizing the office, I put them all in jars up front and center so I could try and figure out ways to use them. And this is what I came up with to use some of the larger stones. And I did them last week, and I had such a good time doing them. And then I never cleaned off my desk, so I decided to do it again. And then I add, you know, little pieces of bark and lichen and the pine needles and threads and my scraps. A lot of the fabric is my dyed fabric, and just trying to get myself back, you know, get my mojo back again, and create some things that are maybe a little different. Thank you. Annalie, hi. Well, you know what? I'm going to say that right back to you. You are my inspiration. I got inspired. Well, I always get inspired watching you, but watching you do your clusters. Um, for one of your recent journals, I can't remember which one it was, but you actually affected the way I decided to set up the studio when I was going through some changes of things here. And I watched you dig into your bag for like green stuff. And I'm like, why do I have my things sorted the way I do? I need to, it just seemed like a very productive way to work. So you actually have inspired me to change the way I organize my space. And then watching you create your clusters, and I forgot, what did you say? I think you always do, is it 7 layers? Well, the stones are glued on just to hold them while I stitch, because I'm only using Fabri-Tac, and Fabri-Tac is not designed to hold stones, but I'm just wanting to glue it down long enough that I can then stitch the stones on. If I was trying to glue stones down permanently, I would be using E6000, which is, a really smelly, icky thing to use that I try not to use very often. And I just like the more organic look of these, sewn on. And Annalie, I've been watching, you've got some new things that you're working on too. I like to watch you go through the whole journal process, from your dyeing your papers to making your ephemera. Do you still have lots of your old buttons? They look so pretty. I would probably just be going into the studio and fondling them all the time, just because there's something about buttons. Even if I don't use them in my work, there's just something about touching buttons that feels like you're touching, especially the vintage ones, like you're touching a piece of history. And then of course, if you wanted to, you could do more little stitches around the fabric, but I figured out, when I see what journals these are going to go in, I might decide to do something like that. But I'm really thinking I want to make these into some dangles. I get so many ideas from you, Annalie. So many. I don't think it's going to need anything. I think that's going to hold it well enough. I'm wondering whether I need... No, I'm not going to glue that in. I like things being kind of loose. When I'm doing this sort of a thing, I don't like them looking like they're cased in cement. I want them just look like you plucked them out of the garden. Yeah, no holes. And you could do this with wire too, but I'm pretty klutzy with the wire, so I wasn't going to make you guys watch me work my way through that. There we go. I want to keep those guys out. I want to do some more wire work, and some of them are big enough that I could do some wire wrapping and make some dangles with them. But Annalie, this is what I'm trying to figure out how to use up. I have a bunch of these stones in different colors, and they're real gemstones, but they're so tiny that I'm not sure what I could glue them on to go with the style of journals that you and I like. If you have any ideas, I would love to hear them, because boy, I have a lot of them. And they're beautiful, but all right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh shoot. Now I want to do one more and make an even 10, even though I said I don't like even numbers. What do you think? You want to hang with me for one more? 1,000 buttons. Oh my goodness. Okay, I feel better than about my stones. Let's see if I can do one more. What else have we got here? It's kind of light. I can fray it. Stuff gets some of it gets so stiff. All right, I'll do one more and then we'll have an even 10. Well, because this is so light, I could do almost any color with it. Originally, I was thinking I was going to wrap them more with like a jute or something, but the stones are not there. It would just overpower the stones. So a single strand of embroidery floss seems to work pretty well. All right, that's kind of almost looks like a cowhide. Yeah, I don't know, buttons that I love to, like I said, I love to touch them, play with them, but I don't use them much. Lace doesn't go on here. All right, I want something. Listen, I want a something, and I don't know what that something is. Maybe that center part. This is some of that fabric I dyed with the India inks. Don't like it. No, that doesn't look like the garden. We could just do neutrals. Yeah, I think I need to figure out, maybe take some sheer material and make some really tiny, tiny baggies, just hand sew them together. That's rather, because I have the bottles, but these are just too big, but I like the idea of bags. Thank you, Annalie. So if I took, I don't have any actual fabric. So if this was my sheer fabric and I made just a little tiny, like this was a handful of the things and you could see the ones through there, it'd be like a sachet, only with the stones. I like that idea a lot. Thank you. Oh, I knew someone would eventually give me an idea that I could run with. That sounds like that might work. And I certainly have a lot of sheer material from all those sheer book text covers that I did. Now you make me want to write a poem or something to go with it. And then I would have that hanging off the edge of there. Oh, I am so glad you popped in, Annalie. So glad you popped in. All right, I like that. I like this little book paper, but I need it to be... All right, what do we have left in the... That's not going to work. It's the wrong color. Here's my other bark. The dark bark I really like. And it's starting to split. So if I could get a long skinny piece would be perfect. Okay. And my rusty cheesecloth. Okay, and then we need threads, right? We need threads. We got to have threads. I didn't use any of my green threads today. Surprise. In the studio, I have all my threads that are all sorted out by colors. This is just the ones that were left on the desk from a recent... No, that's too white. Some more of the... Not the string. Maybe these threads will work. This is too perfect, so we need to scrunch it up. Maybe just a few of these gray ones. If I could get them to separate, would be really nice. Uh-oh, did I lose my needle again for sewing? See, I do that all the time. I need to make myself a pin cushion. Let's see. Now, I need a comb that's made of needles. All right, that's not going to work. We'll let that go. What else do we have? I just want just another color in there. I can put maybe some of my gray green. Okay, this will work. This will work, yeah. I just wanted a third color. There we go. I'm liking that. All right, and you need a stone. Odd shape ones like that are really hard to sew on. It's not big enough. Ooh, I like that. That might be it. Let's see. Okay, let's try. I'm going to audition all of these guys. Okay, not that. I like that stays in the tones, so I think that's what we're going to do. What did I do? Okay, there's the needle. Nope, that's the wrong needle. Where's my sewing needle? Drats. Drats and darn. If you guys see it on my table, let me know. What did I do with it? Oh, or do we like that bit? No, that's too big. What did I do with my needle? Good night, Annalie. Yeah. Oh dear, and you have to work tomorrow. Yeah, I'll post some pictures, or you can come back and see the rest of the video, but I'll post some pictures all around. Thanks for the idea, and thanks for popping in. You have a good sleep. The needle, she has gone missing. So take out another one. All right. Let's get this baby glued down and sewed down. And this will be a good day's work with 10 of these. Get all that stuff off of the... Of course, now it's all over my finger, but it's better on the bottle. Okay. Here we go. Last one. Thanks for hanging with me. Thanks for those of you that gave me a thumbs up. I appreciate it. All right, we got that one on. That. And I'll do the bark. I need to go out in the yard and find some more of this bark. It must have come in one of our loads of wood chips, but it's great the way it splits. Ah! I just lost my... Oh, I didn't lose it. Woo! The stone went flying. Okay. Get the threads out of the cheesecloth. I have Fabri-Tac fingers. Just gonna go. I'm gonna be sewing through Fabri-Tac, which is not always fun. And then we want just a little more. Hold the threads on top. And the stone, I'm going to go right about there. I think this one's going to be the hardest to sew because I think there's a lot of Fabri-Tac layers. can't go at too much of an angle because I don't want to try and sew through the bark. All right, lid on the Fabri-Tac. Okay, Luz, thanks for hanging with me for a little bit and for sharing. This is too thick. That's what I decided I didn't like about this. I like the thinner single strands. Almost done, guys. So of course I'll find the other needle as soon as I shut off the camera, right? Isn't that how that stuff goes? I hope I find it. I hope we don't find it walking around the house barefoot. All right. This feels a little top heavy over here. And maybe a few too many threads because we can't see the bottom there. Give it a little haircut. It's almost too balanced, but it is what it is. All right. Didn't put my craft mat down. Poor desk takes a beating. I wonder if this is going to look funny because, no, it's okay. The bark is wider than the rock is, and I can't sew through this bark. It's so thick. And I didn't punch any holes in it. Wow, so 10 of these done in 2.5 hours. Not a bad day's work. I don't know. I think I'm going to be hard pressed to pick a favorite this week. I'm pretty much in love with all of them. Normally I would let the glue set a little bit more, but I'm trying to race to finish these and dragging the thread through the Fabri-Tac. All right. I think that'll hold it nicely. Yeah. Well, it's kind of fun when you're working on something and each one you finish, you think, that's my favorite one. That's my favorite one. Oh, that's a good idea, Pamela. Hey, Jude, you got here just at the end and look at you sharing for me. Thank you. I'm just about finishing up here. Went long today. Hope you're having a good day. Okay, let's take a look at what I accomplished today. So, whoops, again, that one wants to stick to the desk. All right. Let's see here. We have one. So I can figure out the right way. Do I have something that's white? I do. All right. So we have one. I pull it over to the camera. Does it want to focus better or worse? I don't know. I'm trying to figure out the right height to hold it so you can see. It really doesn't want to focus well. That's one. We have two. We have three. Thank you. We have 4. We have 5. Is that upside down? Yeah, I think that's why I did that one. We have 5. We have number 6. We have number 7, getting all the excess threads out. Number 8. Yeah, sorry, Jude. Yep, just about done. 9. I like this one a lot. And number 10. Yeah, I don't know if I could pick a favorite today. I am really, really pleased with all of them. That's a good day's work for me. Yeah, I totally think I can put these, on something as a dangle. I think that'll be really pretty as a dangle. Or tags or stuff. So yeah, these are my colors. Most of them are dyed fabric, except this is just plain fabric. Most of these are fabrics that I've dyed, and the anything that's organic is from the yard and the gemstones. And I got an idea what to do with my little tiny beads. So thank you. Yeah, you know what? I should have brought out my feathers, Caroline. I forgot about the feathers. Next time I'll bring my feathers out. I have a big batch of feathers that a friend gave me, some small baby, I think they were turkey feathers, under feathers. So that would be awesome. So thank you, everybody, for hanging with me so long today. I appreciate it. Appreciate the encouragement and the inspiration. And most of all, just you guys supporting me. It's because of your support that I want to come back here every week and do something else. So go off and have an amazing rest of your day and create something beautiful. Yeah, go take a walk in the woods and gather, with something to gather things with. So I think I'm going to go walk in the yard and see if I can find some more of that cool bark. Yes, please stay safe, everyone, and be kind, okay? It doesn't cost you anything, and you just might make somebody's day. I'll see you next week, noon California time. Thanks, Janet. Have fun working in your journal. All right, bye for now.